I forgot how alluring Namiya could appear sometimes though. I forgot how alluring Namiya could appear though.
Dude, she is hot. It's one of those things where like the creators doesn't like to. You could tell that the writer doesn't like to flaunt boobs too much, so not a lot of characters have boobs, and you could tell all of the little fan service is popping up due to the anime studio.
Yep.
Like, oh, this. What is it? Shinra's mother-in-law has boobs, so let's have a scene where she's smothering him in her boobs. Let's have a bunch of little, even though I have a feeling that's a book thing, but let's have like a bunch of jokes aimed directly at Henri for having big boobs.
Oh yeah.
Like the booby goddess and.
Because of Erica, whenever she always like fondles her and everything, and it's like, is it just me or he's starting to get bigger now?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. What was it? Share the wealth or something?
Yeah.
Like, share the wealth. Do these get bigger? Or like in the first half where it's like, oh, and what about you? Were you hiding that sword? Like that one, she was just touching her everywhere. That was a little uncomfortable. But yeah, like you could tell that it's probably anime stuff going on and maybe not really a creator. But yeah, it's interesting seeing like Yamie, who does have big boobs, and they don't like focus on that at all.
Yeah.
And that's all up to the anime to kind of make it look alluring.
No, and I think like the funny part was like here, like pretty much basically showing like, oh look, and trying to introduce, and everybody's now gonna introduce Shizuo's family, starring the new wife and child.
What?
Remember, cause like remember how like Isaiah left that rumor that supposedly he was hospitalized, but then people saw him with Verona, and then the Awakusa daughter.
Yeah, and then they're like, yeah, that girl, that's his baby mama. It went from she has a kid, he's dating a woman with a kid, to that's his baby and she's the baby mama. Season 2 opening. Why can't I find any of the openings? Season 2 opening 2.
I think it's like the second season was 10. The official name of the season 2 part 2 for Durarara was 10.
10. Okay.
Durarara 2:10.
Durarara season 2 10. Let's see if that pops up. 10 opening. Awesome. And you're connected to my headphones again. I gotta be careful with these. You pay $100 for something. You pay $100 for something and it only has about 6 hours of battery. Woo! As opposed to $60, and that gave me, I think like 48 hours.
God damn.
Yeah. It was. I think it was them compensating for the fact that they didn't have the best sound. But they do the job fine as long as they cover my ears and I can barely hear the outside world and I can listen to my audio dramas. Okay, I'm good.
Dang.
Yeah, I sound like an old person. I like listening to my audio dramas. Nothing but fuck with my audio dramas. Anyway, guys, welcome back to a brand new episode of Busted Musket Productions and Amazing. I am your host, Danny.
I am the half asleep Rui.
Yes, it kind of takes me back to like the days of recording at like 7 a.m. in the morning in GCC, and just like, anyway, just gotta start talking about it. You know, we'll wake up as it goes on.
Yeah, dude, right now I feel like a dolphin. Well, I wish I was a dolphin right now because I know that dolphins can pretty much shut half their brain and leave the other half like awake in case to look out for predators.
Oh, I remember hearing that, yeah.
I wish I could do that right now, but like...
Is a dolphin ever asleep?
Dolphins are never truly fully asleep.
No. The only time they're asleep is when they're dead.
Wow, that's harrowing. Never thought about that. Never thought about it like that, but okay.
No, you can... spoilers for Avengers. It will be like Avengers where like you see a dead dolphin and it's like, you can rest now, dolphin. You can rest now. There was no dead dolphins, but there was a dead Tony Stark.
Yep.
You guys had it's almost going to be a month since that movie came out. I don't want to hear nothing about spoiling.
Ooh. That felt good.
Good. Yeah, with your little Shimikaze slippers.
Yep.
Yeah, he has Shimikaze's little battleship turns from Kanko as slippers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we are back again with a part 2 of a season. We haven't done that in a while.
I know. Well, even more surprising, a part 2 of a season 2 that nobody thought we were gonna get at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. I wonder how it was for people. Well, I know it's happening right now with Fruits Basket.
Yes.
That people are just like, I thought this day would never come. That's gonna be me if, like, they ever fucking decide to bring back Dead Man Wonderland, which by this point we need a full freaking remake rather than just a season 2.
Yep.
Because they gotta fix a lot of things that first season didn't do. And I mean, reinserting characters and changing character motivations. God, you read that. It's funny how, like, a lot of people, they see the anime and it's a good anime, you know, it does its job and it's fun. But, like, when you read the manga, you realize there was, like, a lot of deeper character motivation going on. But again, one day, I don't mind talking about the anime and then talking about the manga. But that's kind of a hefty read. It's like 13 volumes, so that's already over, like, the 200 mark.
And I think the one thing that for me about the season 2, watching the season 2, especially of the shows, that I still could not understand what the Russians were talking about to each other.
Really? Why, were you not reading it?
No, I was watching the dub, but no one bothered to translate the Russian part. So like literally it's just literally like they're speaking in Russian and all you see is kanji at the bottom. I'm like, if only I was a level 3 Japanese speaker, I would be able to read this with ease.
What the fuck, people? I watch it off Crunchyroll. I'm still leeching off my friend's Crunchyroll. And like they translate it. Now, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but we do know that a good half of these translator people do in fact freaking steal Crunchyroll's dubs and insert them online.
Not for the one I watched, sadly.
I know, that was so weird.
It was sad because like every time they spoke in Russian, I'm like, I know I'm part Russian, but that doesn't mean I understand the language automatically.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, what percentage?
It's on my great grandmother's side, so I think like that was like what, an 8th or 16th.
Oh, okay. So you're as Russian as I am Native American.
Yes.
I'm like my grandma's half. My dad is half. My dad is a quarter. So you combined his 99 Mexican percent with his 1 Indian and my mom's 100 Mexican percent, you just get a teeny little drop of Native American in me and my brother's blood.
You get a Danny.
Huh?
You get a Danny.
I get a little bit. Anyway, so one of the things you did miss is, well, I mean, you kind of got the idea, was when that whole conversation that was happening when Tom wanted to tell her that she was hot, tell Verona she was hot.
Dude, it was like the guy pretty much just told her to offer her a job or something.
Yeah.
Okay, because when I heard it tell Tom when he was asking, it's like how do you tell she's what was it?
Oh, tell her that she's fine, like she's a fox.
Yeah.
And he tells her that horribly, and Verona didn't really get it, so the guy was telling him, oh, he's saying you're attractive, and it's like, oh, well, I don't really see what that has to do with anything. And then it eventually answered them saying, like, oh, if you need some extra muscle, you can take her along. Which, of course, they don't know who she is at all. Yep. So they're just like, I don't know why we're taking this girl. Every person that sees her is probably gonna try to rape her.
Dude, no, that's like it was like really funny when they had that bit with Simon and everything. It's like you want to rent her and everything.
Oh
and, like,
yeah.
I don't think he meant meant something by that, because it's like señor, like I am. There's one thing I will not do is sell my body and everything. It's like, you're right, sexual harassment bad, and we just did it. Now we have oncoming lawsuits.
Harakiri to be committed for sexual harassment. Man, I love how that's pronounced in the dub, because from what it sounded like, he wasn't really whoring her out, but he was just saying like, oh, so would you like us to provide company for you, like do that thing they do in some places where they have someone sit down with you, like a maid cafe. Like that's what he meant. And she's just like, I will not sell my body to help this rat hole. I'm going on strike. Oh no! Sexual harassment claim!
Oh my god, dude. When she said that and everything, I was like, God. Oh, there's so many parallels I could draw with this, but for now I'll hold my breath.
Yeah.
I just left with Simon.
Speaking of holding our breaths, we forgot to do a tradition. Anyway, people, we now bring you to
that's right.
but to part 3 of Durarara Season 2, Part 2. I just dropped it. So basically, it's Part 3 of season. Yeah, it is. It is part 3 of our month.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's Episode 3, Season 2, Part 2 of Durarara. So let's get to it with possibly like my second favorite opening. Wait, there we go.
Oh.
Oh, someone put casual translations on it?
No, they're actually like, this is one of the seasons where they actually bothered to translate the names.
Oh, yeah.
This is, out of all the seasons, this is the only season that somebody actually bothered to translate the names in English.
Oh, well, there's there's actually, when I was having problems with Crunchyroll, there were actually 2 alternate openings. One that I guess Aniplex made and another one for other places. Oh, what?
No, it's Japanese.
Oh, God, that's so weird.
When Iza is Araragi.
Wait, is that the same voice actor?
I don't know.
No, that would be weird, though.
You remember when Iza is Araragi?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it still kind of blew me away that, like...
Oh, best guy right there.
Yeah.
This is my favorite character.
It kind of blew me away knowing that, like, the guy who played Takaru in My Love Story also played Hachimen in Snafu.
Yeah. There's a lot of like, that was all like surprising to find out. But damn, that smile.
I know. He's such a little... I mean, I get what he's trying to do, but at the same time, it's like... there's a line he's skirting between... what is it? There's a line he's skirting between justice to, like, coaling.
Yep.
And he flat out near the ending is just coaling people. Like, we're gonna beat the shit out of you and delete your membership of the dollars, but...
He becomes a witch hunter.
Yeah. But man, dude, the dollar, I mean, that's kind of one of the problems. Like, the dollar, they make a lot of really good cases for why the dollars exist and how good they're helping, it's creating a bigger community, giving people a sense of belonging. But when you let so many people in and other members are getting other members in, and the password pretty much goes public, you get a lot of unsavory people in there,
Oh, yeah.
As with Season 2, we get human traffickers, a thug, you have, the blue squares who originally tried to do a Hail Hydra in the yellow scarves are now moving in on the dollars.
Yeah, pretty much like what happened like in Captain America.
No.
Before that one.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, but they're just trying to they're trying to get dollars into a state where it's easy for them to just flat out take over. It's a really like dark idea that the dollars really has, and in this season we see some pretty nasty people work their way into the dollars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Season 2 literally, Part 2 takes place literally the next day of the Part 1, as opposed to a Part 2 where Season 2 started 6 months after. This one starts immediately after Part 1. So we are now kind of witnessing, just all of the insanity that has been building up in Ikebukuro.
Like that.
Yeah, like the phone ringing. So we're just witnessing all of the insanity in Ikebukuro just start to rear its ugly head and set the city ablaze in just madness. Like we have Mikado, who has accepted the deal of leadership in the Blue Squares because we found out that Aoba Aoba was actually the original
creator of the blue squares.
Yeah, but we find out that like the guy that we initially thought was the creator was actually the scapegoat.
Yep.
Which is nasty thing. Oh, are you bringing up all of the references that are in there?
Dude, I just laughed at this one because like this is literally like one of the first few episodes where where they were talking about the stalker that was stalking like Rudy Hijiribe.
Yeah.
Because you know how it's like there's a stalker amongst the dollars that was like stalking Rudy.
Yeah.
I just started reading these light novels like, oh my god, man, they knew it was gonna become popular within the next couple of years.
Yeah, and this was back like in 2015, so like literally in the next 3 years, they predicted an anime that would go big.
Like Bunny Girl Senpai, and then that was like what? I think it was like Alicization.
Yes. Was that Alicization or just like the first volume?
I think that's the first volume.
Yeah. So that one, the anime has already, come and gotten its haters. But yeah, you see, are those other animes up there?
Oh. Out Noah Zero, regular Magical High School, and then Vest the Plot World Conquest. This was a pretty good one.
I actually like how the movies, that they're on top of a movie, but they're all anime shows.
Yeah.
I'm like...
All about the Denny's sign.
Denny's? What the... Denny's Cinemas? What the hell? But then you see what is obviously supposed to be Attack on Titan up there.
Well, I couldn't tell, man.
Yeah, I see a wall and like a head. Something tells me someone didn't want to lend a likeness to that.
Yeah. But damn, man. And so like this show pretty much like a lot of what's gonna be happening from here on out is like you pretty much get the feeling that there's gonna be another war breaking out soon. If anything, it's like that.
Yeah, and a really nasty one too.
Because at this point in time, like you mentioned, like Mikado is like pretty much like Mikado. Like one of the things that he doesn't like is like he doesn't want to revert to like being like like not being of use or like letting the dollars become something that he didn't want it to be in the first place.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like trying to gain back at least some semblance of control. Like he's decided to like be the leader of the Blue Squares just so that he can be able to like have some sense of control and bring back the dollars the way they were or the way he thinks they should be.
Yeah, and he has a lot of I think overall he has maybe like 10 guys at the most because we see a few that we didn't see in the last season, but he has a pretty hefty army and they're taking them out in like really. They're not going after big groups. If they take out one person, they believe the other ones will go away. If they jump the only time they ever fight a giant group is when they end up getting jumped by the yellow scarves. And even on that one, they're like, oh, they got away? Well, how many of our men got hit? Jesus Christ. It's like, yeah, you got your ass handed to yourselves. But given there's one person there that I totally do not think is a freshman, I think that's just some grown man following them around. Oh,
you mean the tallest guy?
Yeah, the tallest guy with like the stern face and the ponytail. I'm like, you're not a fucking freshman.
I know, right?
But yeah, and a lot of the things that are going on is now you're kind of noticing cliques being formed as well. Like one thing I completely forgot about was Isaiah's clique.
Yeah.
Which was basically like we know nothing about the giant zombies, but we know that there's like a small group, like another color gang working for him. We see a girl that he had back in season 1. I don't know if we talked about this, but back in season 1, we find out that Isaiah would go into suicide forums.
That one chick that tried to kill him in the hospital.
Yeah, because he ended up becoming the cause of getting her friend killed, and then she just found her new way of living was, I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. And, he ends up talking her out of it, and she ends up joining his rogues gallery. Then we get like a children's
martial artist instructor.
Yeah.
Ooh, which again, guilty pleasure of mine.
She's buff goddess.
Yes.
See, that's one thing I'm like. I think chicks like Zarya, that might be a little too much. But I think if it's like that girl that was in Cabaneri and things like this, Michelle in Terraformers, it's like if you have enough muscle but not enough to the point where you look like you're a man who took too much steroids, then I can fuck with you.
No, but dude, she's like legitimately like the epitome of like tall, tan, and handsome.
Mm-hmm. And then I even like how she has a brother that hates, even though they like bring it up out of nowhere, but like he hates Isaiah because he may or may not have hooked up with that girl. We don't know. We just know that he kind of got in her head and turned her into another lapdog, similar to what became of Saki.
Yeah.
But who else was in? Oh, we find out that Sloane was alive.
Yeah.
I actually forgot that.
I thought for sure they had killed him because when last time we left him, like they literally just shot him in the knees and then like they just like carrying him away. I was like, oh, this guy's dead because I know Simon and the other guys like are gonna try to like help Verona out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There was a specific deal they made with the Yakuza. With the dad saying, "Look, you can have the other guy, but we promised the dad we would let nothing happen to her. And given everything we did with you, you scratch our back." So yeah, when the Yakuza take you away because let's face it, you tried to kidnap their fucking heir.
Yeah.
Of course they're not gonna die, but then again, we find out that Isaiah has that. It was always said throughout the series that Isaiah always had a little foot in the Yakuza's good place.
Yeah.
We just didn't realize that his foot is so far into the door that even they end up bending rules for him.
Not yet.
So we know how he got Sloane. It was basically, look, with everything I give you, just let that guy go and give him to me. And then I'll give you some info that you need.
No, yeah. And pretty much again, like this time, like what's really special about this season as well is like you really get to hear a lot of like the adults like doing a lot of the narrating and everything as well. Like a lot of new characters doing a lot of narrating for different episodes. I think for me my favorite one was when Izumi was the one who was doing the narrating.
Oh my god, yeah.
When he kept calling everybody an asshole.
An asshole. This person's an asshole. That person's an asshole. I'm gonna look for that episode so you guys can hear the narration, but it is fucking funny.
Especially when there was like that one reporter was talking to the cop.
Yeah.
When talking to the cop chick. Again, another guilty pleasure of mine. Because like she's talking to the cop and it's like pan over. See? Asshole.
Yeah, I know that one. Or when Kadota gets hit, it's like vroom vroom, die asshole.
Dude, when Kadota got hit, like my heart literally just sank.
Dude, oh yeah, you didn't know that was gonna happen.
No, dude, when that happened, I was like, no. They're doing the same thing that they did to the doctor in what the fuck was it? What was that one next show we watched? Oh, Genlock.
Oh.
They tried to kill him off so they don't have to pay for him anymore.
I have a feeling they have a little bit more money than Rooster Teeth to keep that going. But yeah, Steve Bloom has reached the point where like, he'll be kind of risky. I don't think he'll do what other voice actors do, and that's just lend a voice to projects for free. Yeah. Because I've actually talked to a few. Because again, I'm trying to get an audio drama off the ground, and I talked to someone who worked on one, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got this one anime voice actor. She did," and I'm like, "How much did she pay for her?" "Oh no, she just did it for fun." I'm like, "Really?" And it's like, "Yeah, but they're not all like that. Some of them will ask for money." And I'm like, "Yeah, I bet Steve Bloom will totally be one."
I don't care. I give him my liver.
Yeah, I have a feeling we could possibly get one girl. But that's kind of because we're already on her good side. And we'll talk about that in a bit. I feel so bad. I have to make a public apology. Again, good thing we're so... Is it this one? Oh, come on.
Okay. Remember the one with Izumi, when Izumi's like talking to his brother and everything. I think it's like episode 10 or so.
Yeah, episode 10? Let's see.
Yeah, because like that's the one when Kadora got in the coma.
Oh, okay.
9 or 10, one of those two.
Oh wait, no, I think this is it.
knows anything about the dollars, it'd be you.
You just talked yourself into a stop.
Ugh.
Board topic. Please, Officer Kuzuhara, I'm begging you. You sure you don't have any information on him?
Look, if you don't leave me alone, I'll arrest you.
Pan over. There, asshole.
Pan over. There, asshole.
I just want to find like his opening narration.
I know, it's like just golden.
Right?
He's like literally just you hear him calling everyone an asshole. I feel like that voice actor whoever was voicing Izumi had a really fun time like doing this narration.
Yeah. There we go. And that evil smile again. Come on.
That smile that no longer is pure.
Oh, motherfucker.
Or
It'll take too long, but let me get to one part I know is a good place to drop. One. Come on.
Maybe I should help Kita after all.
Time to die, you asshole! Hit him! Woohoo! Hell yeah!
That's all the narrator.
so
A completely unbiased narrator. Like, it's funny because some of these narrations, they go between a person that you're following throughout the entire episode, giving their thoughts, to just disembodied voices that you're kind of like, wait, who's narrating this episode?
Right?
Because at one point, I don't know if maybe it was Saika, but there was one point where there was just a girl narrating, and I'm like, I don't think that's Namie. Namie had an episode. I don't think it's this person either. I have a feeling it might just be Saika, but...
Dude, one thing for sure that I can say about this season is like there's a lot of moments where we're just saying what the fuck is going on.
Right?
Like, especially like the second episode and everything, because like you just see Mika come in, it's like, okay, so she wants to eat Celti's head, so that it's like, so it's Celti, so that, like Seiji doesn't have any, so she no longer has competition for Seiji. All right then. Now Namie wants to throw acid on her face, so that Seiji no longer like loves her anymore.
Well, I mean, that's like typical yandere fashion. Is like, you know, if you don't love me, then I'm gonna eat you so we can always be together. Mm-hmm. Or like in this case, I'm gonna eat that head so you can always love my head. The thing that I never really understood about yandere culture is you're gonna eat that person, but they're only gonna be with you to 6 to 8 hours.
That's true.
You're gonna shut him out. I don't get your thinking.
Nope. And then a lot of like the episode over here as well, like, you know, legit, like for me that episode that caught me like the most what the fuck was when Seiji kissed his sister. Well, kissed.
Yes, yeah. So we have an episode that focused specifically on Yamie and Miki, and we kind of do see that even though their relationship is built on a complete and total lie and is even kind of unethical in some parts.
Yep.
They do make a very sweet couple, and it's so weird that I'm saying that, but they do. I don't know. They're just so into each other that I just can't help but to go, no.
Dude, I don't know, man, but I gotta give it to whoever was voicing Seiji. He no longer sounds as cringy as he used to sound in season 1.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, like you can tell like a good portion of these people were barely starting back in 2011, and let me do make a chip too behind the voice actors, but
not only that, but like Seiji actually like feels like somebody I can like actually bear to listen to. Like he's no longer like cringy overly emotional teen. Now he's like, all right, he's getting a straight shoulder on his head now. Like he's actually more normal than his sister and Mika is now.
Yeah, it's really nice even hearing him like talk to other people, like when he's addressing. Because we know one thing is he has a giant respect towards Mikado because of how he helped him, and it is nice seeing him just be like, hey Mikado, hey, instead of like, oh, hello, we want to thank you for helping us. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a new guy. But let me go ahead. Here we go. David Vincent. That name sounds familiar. David Vincent, he was Actually, I don't recognize a whole lot of these people here.
No, I'm probably not gonna recognize them either, but I'll give it a go.
I recognize a character from JoJo.
Furuki. Why does that sound familiar?
Well, remember, you can look at the name of the anime on top.
Oh, Charlotte.
Was he in Charlotte? Who was he?
2016, this one guy. I don't know who it is though.
Oh, I never got that far in Charlotte. Oh shit, he's Finks in Hunter x Hunter.
Really?
Yeah, okay, that kind of explains the voice a little bit. I haven't gotten to Awesome yet. He's Gilgamesh. Okay, that's a really big one.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Gilgamesh. Oh, he was Rabbit Dog too. I didn't notice, but yeah, he's Rabbit Dog. So at one point he was in the same room. He had to record two different people. Yeah, no. Oh, that's why he sounded familiar. He's Senketsu.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, that totally makes sense. It's interesting though because I could have sworn he was the overall narrator for the JoJo series too.
Oh man, speaking of Hunter x Hunter, finally finished the Great Island arc.
Good. Now we have. Wait, isn't after Great Island the Chimera Ant arc?
Yeah, that's where they meet Kite.
Ah, God. Alright. Anyway, one day.
One day. It's almost there.
Yeah, no, Seiji does sound like a real character, but one thing we find interesting is Yamie ended up... Namie, thank you. See, similar to what we're about to talk about soon, it just never felt right, but I went with it anyway. Namie is paying Isaya's little sisters to basically spy on them and gives them 300,000, what is that, like 3,000 in American? Or 300 in American?
No, around 3,000.
3,000 in American? Oh, okay. But she's giving them like a ton of money just to spy on the sister and like... And I found this kind of weird. I don't know if this is a Japanese thing, but she says like, "Oh yeah," he calls her by her first name, and Nami is like, "Well, he never called me by my first name," and it's just like, "You're a sister, shouldn't he? What is it? Unless he just called you One-chan, which I think is sweeter."
No, yeah, but I think because if there's one thing I know for sure is like when you like there's like when in Japanese society like they really do follow the picking order. Mm-hmm. So like if somebody ever calls you by your last name, there's just means like, oh yeah, they're just distant and everything, or like they're just saying that because like they don't really think of you as like that close of a person. Mm-hmm. That's why like they always make a big deal if you like they allow you to like be called by their first name. It's like, oh okay, so you're pretty much comfortable being closer with them.
Oh okay, that just makes a lot of sense now. Damn it! I'll be eaten alive in Japan. They'll be like, it's so dishonorable.
Like shameful display.
Yeah, shameful display. Anyway, speaking of shameful display, before we go on any further with this episode, I want to make a quick little apology. So I stated all the way back in episode 1 of this that Kira Buckland was the voice of Mika in the first episode. But that wasn't right either. So, I mean, from the beginning, I thought the voice did sound a little off, but I just kind of chalked it up to, oh, she was young. This was like 2011, obviously she's going to sound younger. No, according to a message I sent, I decided to do some fact-checking, so I wrote, "Hey Kira, I'm trying to fact-check for a podcast tomorrow. I wanted to ask in durarara, were you Mika for both seasons, or were you only her voice for the second season?" And then she replied, "Only the second season. I believe Carrie Savage was the VA for season 1, who is a voice actress that just isn't around anymore."
Aww.
Well, I don't know why, and I don't even know why she wasn't in this. Maybe next time we get another voice actor in here, we should kind of ask how the process for that goes. Because the last thing she recorded was in 2016.
Really?
Yeah, and the dub for this started in 2015. So I don't know if maybe that by that point she had already stopped voice acting and they had to go with Kira. Mm-hmm. Or if it was just kind of like she didn't want to do that character. Or she was, I don't know, like maybe they wanted to go with Kira because she had a specific voice that this other girl had. I don't know, it was weird, but yeah, just know I hooked up I goofed up, and Kira Buckland is only the voice of Mika for the second season, and it was Carrie Savage in the other season, which she actually did a few things I recognize. A few things. A lot of it is like stuff I never heard of, like Battle Vixens and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, so moving on. Yeah, so that kind of leads to Namie like, yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna trick the girl to going into a warehouse, and then I'll give her, say I'm gonna give her the head for her to destroy or do whatever she wants with, and just like knock her out. Hopefully I'll be able to knock her out, and then I'll take her to Shinra where he can fix her face.
Yep.
Which I like how they say, like, yeah, you know plastic surgery doesn't work like that, right? I can't just reverse the face.
No, yeah, and like more importantly, because for Shinra and everything, it's like, like the one thing that that people got to notice is that in the beginning of season 2, like this is pretty much like a rare moment where like everybody pretty much had a day off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And this day off pretty much with Shinra and Celtic pretty much confirms something and everything, is that a lot of these operations are pretty much like everywhere and everything. Because like, holy Christ, when something was talking about how like they found like they found a wolf that they thought was extinct, and like they realized like, oh wait, that's a werewolf. I thought she was just kidding. Yeah. Until they went to the flashback and that thing actually like transformed. I was like, what the fuck? That thing's an actual werewolf.
I think that might have been an OVA episode. I haven't seen it.
It wasn't this one. It was like a flashback.
No, but I think like the overall adventure they went on. I think that might be an OVA. So like we can add. Maybe you might actually be able to see what happened there. But yeah, you do see mentions of them like finding an extinct wolf and them saying it was a werewolf.
Yep.
And then being chased by it.
And the reason why I find it interesting, because like, remember how last time we were deciding like what exactly Ruri Hijiribe was?
Yeah.
I don't think she's a Dulohan at all.
No, she might be something else.
Yeah, because when I rewatched that scene where like she was running down with the suit of armor or anything, it's not that she popped her head off or anything. That was just special effects that she was doing.
See, that I mentioned it briefly, but again, I was still so uncertain that I never went with it. But yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That it was a special effect armor, and whatever weird supernatural power she had, she was working with that.
Yeah. So if anything, like what Ruru Hijiribe is probably like probably gonna be a little bit more, because they do mention a lot about her, like her family line, that like nobody ever like talked about her grandmother. So it could be like her grandmother was like probably like some type of Japanese like deity or something.
Yeah, and we know, and one thing I actually forgot was a thing is, and we'll go back to the Mika thing in a bit, because there was something I wanted to bring up about the whole reverse plastic surgery thing, and just the whole concept of what happened to that character. But like, one of the things they point out with Rui is, I was exactly right. She was a makeup performer, and then someone came and said, fuck makeup, you gotta, you would be an idol. And if you want to be closer to a monster, then like you can become an idol monster and take over the world. Yep. Which she agrees to. But as it goes on, one thing that was introduced in season 2 is that we have this very shady organization called the Yurihibe. Do you remember what the name was?
I can't remember at all, but I know
Yuri or something.
Yeah.
Where this guy is just like, oh yeah, by the way, don't forget to come to the sponsor party. And then when they show the sponsor party, is literally a bunch of old dudes in like Victorian masks standing over her and like cutting pieces of her skin and watching it heal back. And they're like, oh yeah, she wasn't necessarily signed on because of her idol skills. That she was signed on for a completely different reason.
Dude, when I saw that, man, I thought exactly like what the American producers thought when he saw the picture and everything. Yeah. And it was like, don't worry if you got involved in like some weird kinky porno and everything. We'll try to solve it. I was like, oh my god, I'm just glad they just left it at cutting, because like when I saw the masks and everything, it reminds me of so many hentais I've seen in the past. I was like, ugh.
Big ugly bastard hentai. A lot of big ugly bastards.
Yeah, and especially the way he would always like put her hand over his shoulder. I'm like, oh god, are you selling your body?
That's what. Well, I mean, we all know that's what happens at those producer parties, at those sponsor parties. You want a sponsor, you get your famous person to go and blow the guy in the back.
Yep.
but like there was some even darker shit going back there. But I thought that was a really kind of cool scene with the agent, because we've always seen that guy like be a flat out cartoon character.
Oh yeah.
And then in this one, it is really cool seeing him with a stern face saying like, "Does this ring any bells?" And it's like, "Okay, I thought so. Well, don't worry. We're gonna try to sweep this under the rug as best as we can.
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing to worry about." And it's just like, shit, what the fuck was going on with this girl? Like, this is really bad. But it was one of those things that I bet that company was not happy when they lost her too. Like when she ended up leaving that agency to go with the other guy who, yes, is a legitimate agency.
Yep.
But before we get to like the stalker, I wanted to go back to Mika and be like, the whole concept of Mika having plastic surgery barely hit me with how over the top and fucking weird that is. Because when you initially think of it, it's like, okay, she's a cartoon character who already looks like a white girl, so giving her a different person's face is kind of, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you think about, no, in real life, she is a fucking Japanese girl, so you have a girl with Japanese blood go into a surgery and coming out looking like a European woman.
Yep, like an Irish person.
Right? And I'm just like, it barely hit me when I was watching that episode. I'm like, wow, I just realized how fucking weird that must be in real life. Like, just seeing, because Mika's skin, due to makeup, Mika's skin is even a different color than the
Yep.
Like, it had to flat out look like they ripped her head off and, like, put that head on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, so it really does kind of hit you when you realize, oh shit, that's a Japanese girl with, like, a Irish woman's body. That is fucking weird.
You know, for me, I didn't find it as surprising only because like they do something in like in the Metal Gear, the Phantom Pain, where like when you're customizing your character, watching a guy doing a let's play and everything, it's like alright, Hideo Kojima, I know you always like to troll us in these character creations, so I'll call your bluff and like decides to like choose an entirely like African male and everything. I won't spoil what happens in the game and everything, but in the end game and for that game and everything, but it just goes to show you how far plastic surgery can go.
The whole time, Solid Snake was really a black guy.
Dude, that's literally the way that guy made it sound, and everything was like, you know what? I gotta plot that plastic surgery. You literally turned a black man into a white man.
Right? Well, I mean, we kind of saw that in Tropic Thunder with Robert Downey Jr.'s
yeah.
which was, in case for anyone who hasn't seen that, basically it was Robert Downey Jr. was playing an actor who wanted a specific role, but they wanted black males for it, so he went into a very controversial plastic surgery to come off as a black man. It also doesn't help that he was really, as people will say, cooning it up very offensively, but again, that movie, that was kind of the whole point, and you know, Robert Downey Jr. is currently making people cry right now, so I think that's I think people are kind of forgetting about that right now.
Oh yeah.
But again, the way the movie did it in a way where it was mocking people for doing that.
Yeah.
So I could kind of see why the hate isn't there, as opposed to something like Loquisha, which is about a white comedian posing as a black woman on a radio show, and that's pissing everyone off online. And I'm like, yeah, I don't, you know, it happens, okay? So, back to this, what were we gonna go to? Oh, right.
You were talking about Mika and then like, you know, turning a Japanese woman into an Irish woman.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, and that's what I wanted to point out was that's just such a weird idea, but I'd rather have that than her face getting melted off with acid. But yeah, that was the thing too, is like, I blame prison school for introducing me to this concept of removing a kiss with another kiss.
Oh.
Like, prison school had one where it was like, oh, well, I bet you wanted this girl to kiss you, so I'm taking your first kiss. And
oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do things to you. Yeah, you remember that now? Yeah, I'm gonna do things to you that you wish you can do with her and ruin your special first time, blah, blah, blah. And, like, in this one, it's flat out like, Namie kisses Mika because it was her way of removing the lips, removing the taste of seiji away from her lips. And I'm like, I don't really. Okay, whatever. It's so weird.
I know.
But
again, it's like one of those episodes that just kept me saying like what the fuck all the time.
yeah, but I really like Mika's weapon. How it's like, oh yeah, it's a gardening tool. I wanted something that can stab down like a knife, but also work like a spoon for when I found the head and I just like stab it in the vein and then start scooping up the vein. I've never tried durarara before. Oh god, Kara. I seriously do need to have a talk with her about that. That was weird.
It was like, prepare a durarara head for her.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. It'll be like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, with the monkey veins. Sorry, not Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm not going to make another mistake. Temple of Doom. Mm-hmm. It was Temple of Doom, people. Anyway, another big thing that was going on here, and I'll try not to gush too hard. Nah, I'll try not to do it at all. But we do find out that Rui has a stalker. And it's a damn near scary one, too, who, like, is a kickboxer, but he kickboxes with photos of Rui, like, taped on his feet, so it's almost like he's kicking Yuri in the head when he's making impact.
And, like, the reason why, like, there's a reason why he's creepy, because he's a part of that fandom that's pretty much a part of, like, her blacklisted people who, like, should never be allowed near her.
And it's also believed that he's not even a person who is registered on the blacklist yet.
No, he is.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he was. It's just that because like remember like the one thing that like always like stumped in is like all the people on the blacklist like had alibis as to like why they weren't stalking her.
Yeah.
Because they didn't realize at that point like they were all in cahoots with each other to make sure that they were never. And to make sure that nobody could frame them.
Oh, okay. Because I had always thought he was safe because so he had exclusive photos of Rui that like no one else got their hands on, and that was kind of due to the fact that he was in cahoots with Rui's old agent.
Oh, Yorogiri, yeah.
Yeah, there we go, Yorogiri. Because remember this whole thing exposed about them in the end. But yeah, he's in cahoots with him, and it's basically like he wants to use him to, do some dirty work. Because the guy is like a really good, skillful fighter. And why didn't I bring up that clip? I should have brought... I wanted to bring up a clip from a podcast because when we interviewed this specific voice actor, he even like pointed it out.
Ben Diskin?
Yeah.
Hey.
So, Ben Diskin plays the stalker in here, and he's really Ben Disking it up. Like, he is flat out just going hog with the role. And I remember when I interviewed him, he was talking about how the person who works at Crasher Zoom or like his agent, she always kind of, either it's intentional or unintentional, always gives him roles of these very vulgar and loudmouth to people.
Yeah.
He stated in the podcast saying, I remember when I started this career, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll have a role of like the main character. And it's just like, yeah, so we want you to play like this creepy, crazy guy who like is so obsessed with people that he's almost kind of rapey about it.
Oh God.
And I told him like, oh, that actually reminds me of the character you played in durarara. That is exactly who I was talking about. But yeah, and it's funny because this is his second go around in durarara. This time playing a slightly bigger character. But the thing with that person though is he's not a stalker fan that he wants to be with the person. He just kind of wants to make sure he's not feeling happiness if it isn't with him. Yeah. Like, it doesn't even feel like he wants to be with her specifically. It just sounds like he wants to have a level of control over her life.
Yeah, pretty much to the point where it's like more obsessive, more possessive at that point as well. And trust me, there are fans like that as well. Where like they'll get delusional to the point where like they start thinking like, oh yeah, like their relationship with said celebrity. I need to stretch myself because my knees are like aching right now.
Dude, you're still waking up. I get it.
I'm like finally able to like. No, there it goes. But I was gonna say I'm finally able to contribute some some.
I love when that happens to me.
Why can't I do this right now? I'm finally able to contribute some actual conversation to the topic.
Yes.
There, I can English.
Yeah, but you use considerably smaller vocabulary than you were originally trying to.
I was trying to prove a point which backfired on me.
I'm now way more intelligible to talk.
It's just like knock out on the chair.
You knock down all the equipment and it's just loud snoring.
Damn, man.
But yeah, what were you saying?
But yeah, so going back to it and everything, like it's one of those things where like they get the pleasure out of thinking that like they have more control over their lives than the idols have over themselves. So it's kind of like this thing where like, what would be a good, like it's kind of like Fatal Attractions, like if you've ever seen that, like the TV show on Animal Planet,
Yes.
where like if anything like they get off on the idea that they have control over this one person that a lot of people think is untouchable or like like out of their leagues if anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so taking creepy to the next level is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and do you remember what episode was when Yorigiri called him?
I don't remember.
Fuck.
Because I know it was that one episode. I know it was the episode where like Mikado torched him, which holy shit, was not expecting that.
God damn.
But,
yeah, because like one of the things he wanted to do to kind of mess with her was he ends up. Did they find it out in the wild? Like, was it a stray cat? But he ends up getting like a kitten.
Oh, that's Yuhei's.
Yuhei. Someone gave it to Yuhei, or he found it?
I think like Yuhei just had it was like his pet or something.
Oh, okay.
And it just like took a liking to Rudy.
Yeah, so he has this kitten, and the stalker who was like following her around saw that she had a kitten, and one of the things he wanted to do was like break her heart. So her plan was to get like the legion of stalkers together and kill the cat.
Yeah. And pretty much like not only that, but like kill anybody who was associated or like hurt everybody who was associated with Rudy and everything as well.
Yeah, which I have a feeling the reason they never went after Yuhei is because he was too big of an icon for them.
Yeah. Well, actually, they were trying to, but like that was like they were trying to like target the brother first, like Shizuo Hiwajima.
Mm-hmm.
Just so like they can all right, we can get to him, then we can actually get to Yuhei afterwards.
Oh.
But they underestimated how strong Shizuo is.
Yeah, that's the thing. We know he is technically an urban legend now, but shouldn't people know not to fuck with him at all? Because there's so many times where they're just like, yeah, we think we can finally take him on, and then they end up getting their ass kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one guy, which I'm really surprised not a lot of people have tried to do that to him. Well, I mean, I get there's a reason. Why am I saying that? There's a reason. But that one guy that's like, hey, aren't you Yuhei's brother? It would be really bad for his image if he found out his
older brother works for like a sketchy agency.
There we go, thank you. So how about you forget my death and I keep my mouth shut? And he ends up like throwing him across the apartment building and he like lands on another rooftop.
Yep.
But it's one of those, stop trying to be mouthy with this guy. Stop trying to jump him. Unless you come out with like a bunch of guns drawn on him, you're not gonna do shit to him on like a one-on-one duel or like even a 1-on-50 duel.
And even then, it's because like towards the end of like season 1, like Verona kind of explains inadvertently kind of explains why Shizuo even survived getting shot in the first season.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when she was like trying to aim for like his vitals, it's like where do I shoot this guy? He's like nothing but a wall of muscle. Do I go for the eyes? That's the only logical place I can imagine that will actually like she cause him some damage.
Yeah, and remember in the first season they shoot him like in the kneecap, like in the very first season with the yellow scarves.
Yeah.
They shoot him like in the kneecap and on the shoulder, and that like took him down pretty fast, but it almost seems like the more beat up he gets, the stronger he gets.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, according to Verona, it is 100% certain that he is human. He's just freakishly strong.
Mm-hmm.
And Verona wishes to be as strong with him. And that was the most adorable aspect of the season, was seeing Shizuo kind of get shipped with Verona.
Not only that, but like at one point even have a family. A family that everybody like saw him because like they just see the Awakusu daughter. What was her name?
Akane.
They just see Akane like go over him. Like he had the lolly, he had the Russian chick and everything, and then like, oh my god. That was funny because like everybody thought like they could actually take on Verona.
I know. Yeah, let's kidnap the kid and like we'll steal the girl and the chicks too. Yeah, Verona ends up beating them all. And then
Akane just tases that one guy.
I know
with a taser made specifically to kill Shizuo.
Yeah, so that guy took extra bolts.
Yep.
And then it also happened that at that moment, Izaya's sisters were there too, and we know how dangerous they can be. Oh, here's an example of the soccer voice.
Nug in Rudy's arms. I wish I could have been the one to kill it. I'd love that cute little fuzzball to pieces.
I didn't sign up for this, man.
Huh?
I got these dudes in friggin' masks chasing me all over town.
What dudes?
I don't know. They got the drop on me. I was trying to set that high school chick's place on fire, and they just showed up out of the blue.
There he is.
No way.
But dude, holy Christ, Ben Diskin's pretty good. Pretty much nailed that guy's voice right there.
Yeah, see, that was one of the things I started noticing with him and other voice actors is if it's a character, if you know that Crash Zoom or one of the LA-based companies are working on this anime, you can kind of look at some characters and guess who might be playing them.
Yep.
Like one of the big things when I realized this is kind of a thing was when I found out that Crash Zoom, an LA-based company, was going to do the dub for Your Name, and they even announced Ben Diskin will be an additional voice in there. And I'm all like, I bet you he's gonna be that dude who tried to rip off Taki's restaurant.
Oh.
And that's him. That's the English voice actor for that dude was Ben Diskin. And I'm like, I fucking knew it.
Oh my god, man.
Same thing with Mob Psycho 100. Remember the crazy pyrotechnic in Claw?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ben Diskin in the dub. I'm like, I knew it too. I wasn't as certain because it was still a Funimation dub, but I was right.
Now that I realize it now, I know one. Now I feel like one of the reasons why I like Kadota a lot, or Dorichin as you like him. Every time I see this guy, I feel like I'm watching a documentary on a younger Steve Blum. Right?
Well, that's the great thing. I don't know if it's Alex Vaughn. I don't know the guy's last name, but it's like Alex something. He according to Ben, he's one of those dudes that he will not do an anime half-heartedly. He will not get a character just because they need an American voice. He's going to get them if he knows they can nail the character in English. So I bet you whoever was doing the voice direction for Durarara was just like, no one else can do this character's voice unless it's Steve Blum. I can't imagine anyone else doing this dude's voice. Because it's so... With a lot of these people, the voices are really perfect.
Yep.
Like when you think of Masaomi, you think of Ice Papenburg. When you think of...
Which again, holy shit, improved a lot since season 1.
I told you, this is definitely him barely starting, and this one is like, you're giving a way better voice performance. And again, like, this is 2015. This is right around the time he did the dub for Seven Deadly Sins. And I fucking love him as Meliodas. That's another character I don't think I can ever hear in Japanese, even though Yuki Kaji is amazing.
Yeah. And then Henri's got more emotional range now as well.
Yeah. That also seems to be a thing within the character, though.
Yeah.
Because she's less of like an unfilling parasite and more having a personality. And it is, again, another really cute thing in the show is like seeing her talk to other people.
Yep.
Like it was cute seeing her talk to what's her name? Erica. And doing cosplay with her.
Oh yeah. Because like Erica's like going like he's like, you know, with a body like yours, like have you ever considered cosplaying?
Which I mean, come on. Come on, people. Only if you're a weeb. I'm not gonna make you cosplay if you're not a weeb. Even though like I used to have this friend in high school who was like really tiny. And one of my friends, really tiny with like a curvy body, but one of my friends was still kind of in contact with her, not that long ago, and he tried so hard to get her to go to AX so he can dress her up as Terrible Tornado. And I'm like, oh, that would have been perfect if you were able to get her. she, if I remember correctly, she was like 4 foot, maybe like 4'10".
God damn, that's like almost barely reaching my chest.
Yeah, she was
That's even
very
smaller.
small. Yeah, to me, she was like up to here with my belly. Like, she was very small. And again, she had curves on her, she had a back on her, she had, an ass.
That scares me.
Right? It looked okay. It didn't look like a little person, though. Like, she doesn't look like a little person, she just looks shrunken.
No, for me, if my family tree has taught me anything, is you always fear women who are smaller than you.
What?
You always fear the women who are shorter than you and everything. Just because like the best way, like this is like this just like goes to show like with my mother and especially with my sister because she inherited that as well. Shorter women mean shorter fuses.
Yeah, I mean that's
generally.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing for small people in general. That's why you have like a lot of small people bullies. Bullying I stopped it, but but I don't want to come off as a scary person. But in high school, some kid tried to bully me for being tall, and that didn't last very long because let's face it, if you want to bully a tall person, make sure they're cowards. Because tall people can use the height against you. But anyway, I will not talk about what I did. But anyway, just know I stopped it. Things got really dark. How did you do it? Just know it didn't happen anymore after that. Don't worry about it.
Just know that he was the inspiration for the acid attacks in Durarara.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Dude, was it Shizuo the stalkers tried to do that too?
Yes, when they were trying to throw the acid on Verona.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'm like, where are people getting tiny bottles of acid from? Like, there was a lot of acid in this show.
And that's actually a thing in I think in Southeast Asia and everything, especially in countries like in Bangladesh, Thailand and everything as well, because there'd be times where you get people who are who go into models and everything, they get past lovers who are really envious, where they'd actually throw acid on them just to ruin their faces and try to get back at them for not staying with them or anything.
Yeah, also before I sound like a dumbass, Sokovia is a fake country, right? In Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Sokovia? Okay. So if you remember that opening in Sokovia when they're
I'll double check though.
Okay, when they're yelling at the Iron Man police things for trying to guide them away from the city, you see this dude randomly pull out a jar of acid and throw it at one of the Iron Men. And I'm like, oh, is that a thing?
Sokovia.
So it is a Marvel thing?
Okay, so I spelled it wrong first of all. Maybe, let's see. Sokovia. No, yeah, it's a Marvel Cinematic Universe thing.
Okay, see, I figured I wanted to make sure before I announced it I used it as an actual country thing. But yeah, that was the thing in Age of Ultron where you see a guy pull out a jar of acid and fling it at one of the Iron Man robots.
Oh yeah, and it pretty much just start disintegrating its mask.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. People just toss acid at you.
Yeah,
Jesus.
They'll legit go in the middle of the street and they'll legit toss acid. This is actually a thing in Europe as well at one point. Modern day Europe. Let me add, not ye olde, everybody smelled like shit because they were disease ridden Europe. We're
and your first time will always be your last time.
Yeah, we're talking about everybody still smells like shit, but it's modern times Europe.
So basically just Europe except in 2016.
Yes.
There's cars now that smell like shit. God damn it. Okay, he broke me. All right, but yeah, okay. So we now know that's the thing, and I now know to stay away from Southeast Asia and Europe because I don't want that to be a thing.
Hey, you only have to worry about it if either you're pretty enough to get somebody envious, or you get better looking than one of your exes anticipated you would get.
Okay, then I'll just stay exactly like a dirty homeless man like I do right now. Sorry guys, I'm not gonna shave after all. I look unappealing enough. I'm fine. I can go to Europe and not get acid poured on my face.
Dude, what if it does the opposite to you? Like that one episode of SpongeBob, they throw acid and like it just makes you like like infinitely like more attractive.
It like burns off it burns off all the fat around my cheeks and I'm like more chiseled. Oh God, you're hot. No, you keep doing that. Oh God, and it just gets like even more beautiful. Like, you remember Flapjack, right?
Yeah.
Remember the most beautiful man in the world? And they were literally just like balls of light.
You'll become a star.
Yeah, and like people would what was it? They walked around with paper bags, and as soon as they took them off, like they had to leave the city because of how distracting it got.
Yeah. Because at that point, like, they didn't want to do business with them because of the combs. They wanted to do business because they just wanted to see their beautiful faces.
Yeah, there we go. They were comb makers. Oh God, I miss that show.
That show was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously one of those SpongeBob knockoffs, but it was fun. Mm-hmm. Like, it was better than Coconut-Fed Fruit Salad Island, if you remember that.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, dude, that's just SpongeBob with fruit. It was weird. Anyway, God, we went off track really hard. But yes,
because of the acid attacks.
Yeah. So yeah, they try to fling acid at Verona, which I mean, if you try to fuck with Verona, you either have to deal with her or me kicking your ass. Fuck with her. But one of the interesting things with that is, yeah, we do have a tiny little love story going on with Verona and Shizura, but it's one of those, the girl is falling for him but doesn't quite realize what's going on.
I knew it, man. When you mentioned it last time, I was like, first of all, like in my head, I was like, oh, I'm so glad Shizura was getting some love finally.
I know.
And then second of all, I was like, when it was happening, there was two options I was like thinking was gonna happen. I was like thinking like either Akane like starts seeing him as a father figure, and like I thought like that's what you meant by him getting the love he needed. So I'm like, oh, yeah. Or it's Verona and everything. I'm like, you know what? I can see it.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, is that we even see that Akane has like a little schoolgirl crush on him too.
No, yeah, mainly because she wants to be the one to kill him.
Yeah, but would killing have other intentions? Because remember when she asked the saying, are you his friend or girlfriend? And she says like, oh, I'm neither of those. And she just says like, oh, good. Yeah. And one of them, I think it was one of the twins or someone noticed that like, oh, that was adorable. But yeah, it is really sweet seeing, like, I think it was near the ending of the episode saying, oh, so Shizura's in jail. I guess I can go over there, provoke him to fight and kill him, and I will be okay because I'll just say it was self-defense. But then at the same time, how will I thank him to taking me to bakery and give me delicious foods and the can of coffee? And it's just like, you don't want to kill him anymore. You don't know what's happening to yourself.
I know.
Which, it reminded me, that was a very Segumi thing.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what was happening to Segumi, is like, oh, you're not, that feeling you're feeling is, are you in love with someone? Is that what's going on?
God damn, speaking of that, we should do a Nisekoi episode one day.
We should. That's one of the, I don't want to do it for every episode, but I do want to do remakes of a couple of episodes. Mm-hmm. Because there were some where I don't think we talked enough about the anime. I know definitely for Nisekoi we talked mainly about the girls, but nothing besides that. So we should kind of definitely get to Nisekoi one day. Even though I want to do it. It's just that I don't care if someone gets mad about it. Because suddenly, apparently, Nisekoi became one of those series that it's cool to hate. And I'm like, I don't get why you guys are hating on this. I mean, there's like way worse harems than this. But even this isn't a bad harem because it is a parody without announcing itself as a parody.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's done by Studio Shaft as well, so you know you're gonna get a lot of like those Shaft what was it called?
Neck tilts?
Symbolism! There you go.
Yeah.
But the neck tilts as well.
Yeah, but this one, it's like, you get symbolism, but it's very like straightforward.
Yep.
This wasn't, I don't think this was like the Monogatari director, was it?
No.
Yeah, see, you could tell. Because I can only imagine how weirdly avant-garde it would be. if it was directed by him. Actually, can we just get him to do that and finish off the rest of the series? It's funny how like stupidly popular that anime got them, and they're like, all right, for the second season, we're going to just give you 12 episodes, and all of it's gonna be, most of it will be filler.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to it. Yeah. Anyway, Verona is adorable, and she has a sweet, sweet little cinnamon roll.
No, she's a sweet. What was that one dish that I really liked eating at that one place I ate? Ah, there we go. She's a nice bowl of borscht.
Oh god, is that a Russian thing?
It's beet soup.
Oh, beet soup.
There's a nice bowl of borscht with sour cream on it. That's the best.
Why borscht though? Is it a Russian thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
borscht
okay.
is like a soup. It's like a beet soup and everything. Like the reason why I say borscht is because by itself it's kind of like it tastes like medicine, but once you add the cream and everything, like you notice like how good it really is.
Oh, okay. See, I was wondering. I'm like, why that specifically? And I'm like, oh, you know what? It's got to be related to like Russian food or something. But yeah, it's well. Your window keeps making me think my phone is turning on. Well, one of the other weird things that are going on right now is we actually get some backstory on the Red Ogre.
Oh yeah.
Which is a character. He's a Yakuza boss, and he's one of those people where they're like, yeah, he's old, but don't let that deter you. The guy's still as dangerous as anyone else.
And he's one of those gangsters with a heart of gold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He has like a ginormous a soft spot for Akane, even to the point where he comes off more as a father than an actual father.
Yeah.
But even her dad is like, look, I've tried with that kid, but she doesn't want to ask me for my advice, so tell me what she tells you.
And that was a sweet memory of like when he met Army's mother.
I know. Kind of sweet. It turned sweet.
I know.
So one of the things that you'll notice about this character is he has like a gnarly scar on the right side of his face, and he has a missing eye. Turns out years ago when he first came to Japan, he was doing a job that involved killing someone who owed them money, right?
Well, he pretty much did what Shizuo and like Tom did as well. Like he was pretty much like a collector.
Oh, okay.
So he wouldn't necessarily kill him, but rather like rough them up and everything.
Yeah, but I think specifically he was supposed to kill Sonohara because...
Yeah, because like they weren't paying at that point. Like they really weren't. Like they were just evading them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he ends up making his way towards the Sonohara household, and I bet you guys already know where this is going because of the last name. But he gets jumped by the slasher.
The hash-slinging slasher. That's literally, from now on, that's all I'm going to refer to the cycle arc as the hash-slinging slasher arc.
So we have her, she cuts him off and like attacks him. But one of the weird freaky things, something Henri hasn't done, maybe it's because Saika still is not fully approving of her, but we see like, not only is she holding the Saika blade, but she has other blades popping out of her body like a goddamn parasite.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it happened with her when she was defending herself against that stalker.
Oh, okay.
She had her like coming out of her like where he tried to kick her.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah, it popped out of her stomach and Saika tried to go through the soul.
Yeah, it's just that Saika. The thing with Henri and Saika is that like Saika kind of like acts more on its own, whereas like with her mother, I feel like she had more control over it, so she can call it out at will.
Yeah. Oh, actually no, not a parasite. Basically the blades from Soul Eater. I forget what the official name is called. But remember, the blade people can do that, where they can have a bunch of knives pop out of their body depending on what weapon they are. Yeah, that's what she is. That's what she was doing. So,
God damn, it's been so long. I don't remember what they call themselves.
Yeah, well, I know they eventually. I can't call them Reaper blades because Reaper is what you become when you graduate.
Yeah.
But basically, they end up. Sorry, my mind's drawing a blank. They end up getting into a scuffle. Saika cuts his eye. And Saika is slowly trying to take control and turn him into another child, but in a fucking metal way, he rips his eyeball off and like slams it on the ground. And you don't see it fall to the ground, but you just see like the blood splatter away from it, just like splatter all over the floor. And Psycho suddenly recoils and she's like, oh, Psycho went back. I guess it's because you broke her heart.
Yeah, and like that was like one of that actually made her cry because she's like, you're actually one of the first people who actually resisted Psycho, and never actually survived my attack.
Yeah.
And like that's when he like literally fell head over heels for Henri's mother.
Yeah, and like confesses his love, and she is just like, oh, but sorry about that, but I'm married and I love my daughter and my husband.
He's like, I'm sorry, I can't reciprocate the feelings. Dude, when that happened, and like I saw him, like, I'm so stupid. Of course you're married.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, in an alternate universe, he would have made such a good father to Henri.
A way better father. That's why it's fun. That it might just be Psycho talking to, but it's funny hearing her say she loves the dad too, because the dad was beating the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
Like, it was a very abusive household. It was one of those, when I'm not beating Henri, I'm beating on you, Missy.
Yeah, but actually, and like the thing that he really Origi, what was his name? Origiri or something?
The old man?
Yeah.
Origiri.
Like one of the things that he revealed is like the reason why his father was that, because like the boss he used to work for was pretty much got his father hooked on drugs.
Oh.
So that's why like he was becoming abusive, because he could no longer pay the debt anymore.
Yeah, he gave him a taste and then kept giving him more until he ran up a bill.
Yeah.
And then I remember there was something in the season that disgusted me. I just forgot what it was, and I remembered what it was when I was watching the episode. So basically, the Yodagiri guy that he was working for, basically his boss, was like, yeah, and then like I hear his daughter is now an orphan, and like the daughter looks like she's gonna have a lot of potential. You know, maybe I should botch her some papers and to become a legal guardian and put her out on the street. You know, of course, that is after I get a taste of it myself, testing the product, and I'm like, stop talking. It's so wrong. What was this? Like, Henri was presumably 7 around the time the murder happened?
Yeah, because like this was like I think like 5 years before she got into Raira Academy.
5 years, so she was possibly young. She was possibly older than. So she was possibly Akane's age then, which is like 11 to 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ, this show. That's one of the problems about following the adults, is that you went into a lot more darker territory in Ikebukuro.
Oh yeah, because like now it's like you're getting to see like what the adult gangs are up to and everything.
Yeah. Which, there was that whole thing with Heaven Slaves.
Yeah.
Which are people selling heroin. Well, you know, a type of drug. But it was
homemade heroin.
Yeah.
Homemade heroin that was made by a club in a high school.
Right. All the members were like high school club members, and all of their tattoos are like rub-off tattoos.
Yep.
But man, they did their job. You know, there's an entire very uncomfortable scene of these guys basically trying to get 2 girls to blow them to get a fix.
Oh yeah.
And that is until the old Yakuza dude shows up and like kicks their ass. And I think if I remember correctly, the Yodagiris, they were the ones supplying Heaven Slaves, right?
No, they were giving them information, because like the whole thing about like those two is like supposedly they worked for a leader that was like unknown, or like never showed their faces or anything.
Yeah. So
I think I think you're right. I think the Yodagiris were providing the ingredients, and then they were just like manufacturing it.
Yeah, because one thing that's also being introduced is that you have the Yakuzus, and then you have that other enemy gang that was mentioned in the last season. But then they start bringing up this family or this corporation called the Yodagiris, which they are a lot darker, they're a lot more secretive, and they have a very powerful hold.
Yep.
And one of the things is one of the people selling, one of the members of Heaven Slaves, the leader actually, is a high school student who just went to his grandfather, told him what happened, and they're like, yeah, don't worry, we'll sort everything else out. because like another thing going on was like what was the woman called, or at least the group of people called, as Bima?
Something like that. I could never get the name down at all because I was like, that's such a freaking weird name.
Right?
But when they captured Isaiah,
Yeah.
when he had like that Black Widow moment when they remember from
The Avengers?
yeah,
Yeah.
where like she's like tied to the chair and everything. He's like no, I'm like I'm busy interrogating. I'm like, yeah, like I just like they're stupid enough to tell me everything about it, like what he's doing.
Yeah, and it's funny because when Isaiah calls her on the phone, or at least she's talking to someone saying it's Isaiah, she's kind of looking, because again, I forgot how that scene played out. She's looking at the back like, wait, if this is him, then who the fuck is this? And I'm thinking, did you not check the bag? And
I know, right?
Yeah, and he even said like, I know what your boss looks like, and I'm like, don't tell me she's been torturing the boss the whole time. That would have been epic. But it turns out it was really him, and it was actually Izumi on the other end of the call. And he's like, man, why'd you have to spoil it? And his entire little army of cronies go in and start like beating up all the girls and the security guards there.
Oh yeah, because he was like he got like this gang called the Zombie Dragons to come in.
Yeah.
Which holy shit, that's like a metal name for a gang right there.
Right? With fucking metal ass jackets too. I'm like, I want those jackets. But it was funny because the lady is just like, you idiots, do something, and you see her muscle men just standing lifelessly. And muscle woman. You see them standing lifelessly, and they're like, what are you doing? And the eyes are red, and it's like, oh fuck.
Dude, when I saw that, I had completely forgotten about like that one chick that broke free from Psycho.
Yeah.
I thought it just like, how the hell did he convince Omri to help him out?
Right? And then no, you find out it was the girl who initially started the Psycho invasion in the first season.
The hash slinging slasher arc.
And she is only following Isaiah because Isaiah knows where the teacher is at, and that's what she wants. She wants to be reunited with the teacher that, well, by this point I wouldn't think it was sexually assaulting. I just think it was a teacher coaxing her into sex.
Coaxing her, and then it was like he bit up more than he could chew.
Yeah, because she fell in love with him too. Basically, this person never read Junji Ito.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly how Tomi started. It was Tomi was having sex with a teacher, told him that he was pregnant, and like, if you don't do anything about this, I'm going to tell your wife. So when Tomi accidentally took a fall and they thought she was dead, they're like, all right, we'll just chop her body up into pieces and like separate them across the country. And when they found out she was alive, the teacher was just like, oh fuck, she's still alive? Then now she's dead. But that's all I can think about with that character is like, so this guy obviously never read Junji Ito, but I know the creator of this had to have read Junji Ito because that is very Tomi-ish.
Yeah, man. But yeah.
And I'm gonna say this right now. There's a fucked up ending with that. Like, I'm gonna warn you people right now, there's a fucked up ending to her story.
I already don't want to know what it is.
You have to find out.
And you know, that's actually what I liked about the season of Lost. Like, you get to see a lot of old faces that you never thought were gonna come back, like appear again.
Mm-hmm.
Like you thought, like people you thought like were already done with, like no, they come back.
And you know, one thing I was really happy to see come back again was the anonymous chat room users.
Oh yeah.
Of course, they know their characters throughout the series, but I love how they shook that up, where it was like, man, this chat room's dead. You know what? We're gonna invite a bunch of our friends. So you have
Isaiah making.
Oh my god, you have two people because since Isaiah doesn't have friends and Namie hates him, Isaiah is now juggling 2 accounts.
You know what got to me?
What?
When he got that meeting with the when he brought all like his whole gang that he was like that he told Nami, he's like, I do have friends.
Yeah.
When he got like the muscle chick Izumi and like the zombie dragons.
Yeah.
You know what made me laugh the most about the part? Like, you know what? let's finally get that hot pot that we never gonna get. Like, you could tell, like, he legit was sad that he did not he could not participate in the hot pot with Shinra.
Yeah, I remember that. Because when that happened, he asked Nami, we should have a hot pot. And it's like, why on earth would we do that? Yeah, because the thing that's fascinating about Isaiah, and we get a little bit more into how this guy is, but Isaiah... Okay, soon. Isaiah loves the fuck out of people, but it's kind of like he loves people to the point where it's obsession, but he himself doesn't have the personality or the people skills to get people to love him back.
Yep.
So he has to pay them or blackmail them or bribe them. Like, it's a really fascinating thing that you have a person who loves the idea of humans but sucks at human interaction. Like, his little sister even kind of made it a game out of trying to kick his ass. Like, when she tries to hit him on the back of the head. And then you do get that little moment, and again, it ended up just being a power play. But when he hires Salty to protect one of the sisters, and at the ending you get that sweet little scene of them walking off together.
Yeah.
But again, it's like... They were a power play. It was a power play he was doing.
And it's funny how Nami always calls him out on this like lonership and everything. It's like, for someone who loves humans, like you're pretty lonely, aren't you?
Yeah, because he can't people. He doesn't have like the typical human skills to actually have friends.
Which Shinra like shed a lot of light when they were talking about their like high school days.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That even back then he was like a manipulative psychopath. Like, there's a dude running around that looks exactly like him.
Oh!
And he's using his name too.
Nakura!
Yeah, Nakura. Nakura's the name he uses online to lure the chicks in the suicide forums. But, like, they even made him look like him too.
Yeah. Dude, when I first saw that, and like, when he was talking to that chick with the computer, and he was like, oh yeah, I sold that guy my name. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah. And it's funny when you find out who exactly Nakura was. He was a dude who tried to stab Isaiah, and he said, look, if you tell people, Shinra, that I stab you, I promise you I will do everything in my power to make Nakura's life a living hell. And he did!
Yep.
He ruined his reputation.
Ruined his reputation and pretty much made him a vulnerable target by like literally making him the shadow leader of those two gangs
Yeah.
Because like there was that one guy with the glasses who literally like he didn't even know who the boss was, but in order to keep the guys in line, he would literally just self-harm himself to make it look like he got punished.
Yeah. He carved this into my hand and made me sing the notes as he carved them in. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
And then like that other chick, like she didn't know who was the guy who was like supplying the chips either, but she made it seem like she was like his main squeeze or something.
Yeah, you know what made me laugh though is that was the voice of the girl who played what was the girl who got her head ripped off in Madoka Magica?
Oh, Mami? Mami Tomoe.
There we go. Yeah, it's funny seeing, like, hearing her voice in such a nasty character, and all I can think about is Mami.
Well, she was just as voluptuous as Mami.
That is true. Not as voluptuous as her character in Seven Deadly Sins. She was the... Fuck. Oh, wait, you haven't seen Seven Deadly Sins yet, right?
I've seen a little bit of it. Which one are we talking about?
She's in that episode where they go to the spirit world. She was that holy knight with the long black hair who always had her eyes closed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's her too.
The one who like fights together with Jericho when they try to kill Bon.
Yeah, there you go. That one. Yeah, that's her voice. So yeah, not as voluptuous as that. No, that character is not as voluptuous as them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, should we get to final thoughts?
I think so, yeah, because a lot of this episode for me, like for me after this season, like my thoughts and prayers go to Steve Blum, aka like Dodachin.
Yeah.
May make a speedy recovery in season 3, I hope.
Yeah. Hopefully. One interesting thing too, real quick, is I love how they point out that Kadota wasn't just our bet, like with Walker, Erica, and Toga. Walker, he wasn't just the best friend. He was the fucking handler.
Yeah.
Because if they were not at all handled, if he was not there to be their conscience, they would have just run wild.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eric, fucking Walker is like. Walker goes through the yellow scarfs to see if they were the ones who like ran him over, and they realize that like you guys don't smell that, right? It's like what? He had a Molotov on him. If he found out that if he thought we were one of the guys, he would have lit us up. And that was another thing too. Why were those guys? Were they covered in water or gasoline?
Who the yellow scarves?
That one yellow scarf guy and Walker, they were covered in water.
Oh,
Or maybe gasoline, I don't know.
I think it was gasoline.
Yeah.
Just to fan the flames in case like the Molotov went off.
Oh, that is true. Because I was also thinking too if it was water, because throwing a Molotov in a small place like that, the water would create a millisecond of safety until it eventually just got burned up by the flames.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe that. I could imagine him because why would he pour water on the other dude, and why wouldn't the other dude say anything about it?
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it was like he poured gasoline on them and was ready to take himself out too.
Yeah.
And then Toga, the guy who drives the truck, he's just like, he goes to his old high school and says, I might ruin your guys' reputation because I'm gonna fucking kill a dude with my van. Anyway, let's get to final thoughts, and just start doing it because I actually forgot to get the ending ready. So go.
Oh, the ending for 10.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
No, I'm just like opening this up just to put my thoughts together for Godota.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Ending.
hold on.
Is
Let me.
this the-
Before you play that,
Huh?
before you play the music, I got something for Godota and everything.
Oh God. In the eyes of an angel.
So this is in honor of Godota of anything.
Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. That's a serious. I know. This really is the world's smallest violin.
Oh, thank you for playing that, because I was trying to think I was thinking of that scene the other day, and I was wondering, what was the exact melody he was playing? I love that.
There you go. And my heart goes out to Godota. Well, guys, I'll start a Patreon. Make sure to donate to it so we can wish Steve Blum's character a speedy recovery. Every dollar amount counts.
And none of the money will go towards Steve Bloom. It will be the character himself.
Well, actually, every dollar we get guarantees that Steve Blum gets paid a little longer so that they don't do what they did in Genlock. Kill him just because they can't afford him anymore.
Oh God. Yeah, and then Cadota. Yeah, no, you didn't know that in the third part, Cadota is now nothing but a series of videotapes left behind. Oh, Genlock, I really, really hope they fix that. How dare you do that? But again, it's fucking God, David Tennant. It was David Tennant, so I have a feeling that guy was very, very expensive. Anyway, let's get this going because you got to get going.
Yeah, but yeah. So, final thoughts with the second the second part of the season and everything. Holy shit! You can really tell that this is pretty much where the story's starting to reach its climax and everything. Because not only do you have the younger guys getting involved, but now you got the bigger organizations that they mentioned that existed in Ikebukuro starting to show up as well. And then you're starting to get to see the big crime bosses, everybody who runs the show, actually start showing up more and more and become an actual presence rather than just a hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
And again, really I was really happy to see a lot of old faces from the previous season start showing up as well. Getting to see okay, it wasn't just a character it's just one-off thing and everything. Neo. Neo from the beginning who wanted to commit suicide.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, no, she had her own episode again.
Yep.
Yeah.
You see Neo come back and everything. The chick who was like who started the hash-slinging slasher incidents.
Yeah.
Izumi, the guy that like was only talked about at the beginning, but once he got out of prison, you see him go like have his interaction with Aoba,
Yeah.
and then just like seeing just exactly how insane this guy was as well.
Which, man, you really think about, he was a jerk, but he wasn't psychotic.
Yep.
Yeah, Iola was the real bully in that relationship.
Oh yeah, because if anything, like Izumi is like pretty much like you're like stereotypical description of like an actual like gangster and everything. Like not the guy who's like manipulative and anything, but like he's pretty much like he would like intimidate you or do anything like to just cover his guy's back.
Yeah.
Whereas like Aoba was kind of like there to like, alright, yeah. Who was it that called him? But like, oh, Shinra. He's like, yeah, you're just like Izai Orihara. Pretty much like you're not satisfied until you have everybody dancing in the palm of your hands and everything. Which to Aoba, like that's like the best. That's like literally the best way to get to him. Is like if you call him exactly like if you say he's exactly like Izai, because that's the one guy he really hates.
Oh yeah, when he tried to go to the apartment and strong on them.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna say more after that.
No, that was it. Sorry.
But yeah, and then again, more details about the Patreon later. So every small donation counts. About Kadona's in a coma and everything. Every small donation towards his medical bill will help. Because as we saw in that episode, he is a hard worker at night.
Yes. Oh yeah, well yeah, he is basically a contractor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, guys like him, like my heart goes out to him as well.
Yeah, he is the last good working class person.
Yep. And then pretty much and just getting to see like how like everybody else like just how big of an impact it had that like Kadota was actually hospitalized, how it had an impact with like the rest of everybody else. Because you see how like it shocked everybody in the dollars and everything, and then like how his enemies were like celebrating because they knew like Kadota was like one of those big guys that kept everybody in line.
Yeah, and knew that if they tried anything, him and his crew would show up.
Yeah.
But like it really did hit me when they showed the hospital, the waiting room for the hospital, and you just see all these people you've never seen before, except for like the one Italian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh, he did a lot for these people. But
Kazutani.
yeah, there you go. But yeah, then you realize, oh wait, but when he's gone, Erica, Walker, and Toga are off the leash. Like even Erica was like, I'm here for his sake, but I'd be out there too trying to find the guy. Did you also catch that she said he put everyone back on the right track, especially me?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck did you do before you met him? What were you, Erica? He was the original hash-slinging slasher.
She was oh my god, man. Oh my god. But that really hit me in the feels as well. So when I saw that, I was like late at night when I saw it, and I was like, I did not need this. Like, now that I think about it, that's probably the reason why I couldn't sleep last night.
Probably.
Because after watching that episode last night, because I was like trying to finish it up like later in the night, I was like, oh my god, I tried to fall asleep. Like I can't stop thinking about it.
I'm just surprised that you didn't just start watching part 3 in hopes that they would say, oh, he's fine.
Dude, I couldn't, man. It was like late at night.
Yeah.
I had work early today, and I was like, and now I regret watching that episode. I was like, oh, I hope he makes a good. I hope he doesn't like they don't kill him off like they do in Genlock.
And turn them into recordings.
Yep.
Anything else?
Other than that, like you can literally feel like the story's about to go like wrap itself up already. Like just from this, like you can already tell like this huge epic story is just about to come to an end. And I'm like, oh my god. Like compared to Baccano and everything, like this is really taking its time, and like I'm getting too invested in this already. So I'm like, ugh, I don't want this story to end, but at the same time, it's gonna be satisfying when it does end. So,
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to seeing like what happens in season 3 in the final chapter.
Yeah, which I remember a little bit more I remember more from the final chapter than I do the last 2 seasons, mainly because I was like literally the last thing I've seen from this series. But yeah, wait, was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm with you. This really did feel like a middle piece of a trilogy, because you have like the first trilogy, which is reintroducing you, introducing you, but more in this case, reintroducing you to this world.
Yeah.
And it ends up having like a beginning, a middle, and a freaking crazy ending. And this one is like, okay, now we're gonna be setting up what these characters from the first season are doing and what the new threat's gonna be. But the thing is, unlike most seasons, most trilogies, the middle piece is usually the weakest because that's all it is set up.
Yeah.
But in this one, you get a lot of really great little character moments. You get amazing, like, little jokes and exciting plot lines going in on their own. Again, like...
I can find it. Never mind.
Possibly speaking out of bias, the Stalker arc was really exciting. Well, that was like a genuinely exciting arc for me. But of course, the scene with Mika and Namie, that was really fun too.
Just because they kissed.
Mm-hmm. But yes. But no, it's just that I can look at this and still enjoy it, and not feel like I got ripped off and I have to wait for part 3 that will hopefully be better. But no, it equally, all the seasons right now are being pretty well evened. And
Danny, you can't hide what's inside.
I know. Oh, you can't hide what's inside. So anyway, again, I really love the new characters that are being introduced. And again, Verona and Isaiah's sisters just continue to be my favorite characters in this show. Like, they just provide so much of the comedy and, like, little cute moments. Well, mostly Verona. The sisters mainly provide the comedy.
Yep.
But Verona provides cute moments. And, I'm really excited to find out what your thoughts on this third season, on this part 3, is going to be when we do our part 4. I'm doing that on purpose now. I'm just confusing people.
Part 3 of the series of part 4 of this episode of our episodes.
Yes, but think about that again and you'll get confused. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week. But what is next week movie-wise too? Oh yeah, Brightburn. The If Superman Was Evil story.
Yep. And then 2 weeks from then it's gonna be Godzilla.
I know, that'd be super weedy. If that movie does turn out to be good, that might invade another one of my choices. Because someone actually, a friend of mine asked me, they're like, wait, I saw that you guys did an Alita episode, how come you haven't done a Pikachu episode? And I'm like, because I don't like Pikachu as much as I like Alita.
Detective Pikachu?
Yeah.
I thought it was alright.
No, like I said,
But it's like not something that I get, it's like, like something like where I can feel like I can talk hours about it though. It's like probably something that's like, 30 minutes and that's it.
Yeah, do you know we doubled that movie's runtime? In our review.
Really?
The runtime is officially double the movie's runtime. We talked that much about the series, but the thing is, I really enjoy it, and I see why people think it really is the first good video game movie, even though I like Rampage more.
Wait, video game?
Yeah, it is technically a video game. Pikachu?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Alita.
Oh no, my bad. No, that's the first good Hollywood anime adaptation movie.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, and then, like, the thing that surprised me is it actually got number 2 in the box office, like, right after Endgame.
54 million too. It wasn't like chump change either. It was
Exactly.
like, dude, you made your budget. But no, my whole problem is not all of the jokes. I didn't laugh a lot in the movie, and I still think that third act was so stupid it nearly ruined the movie for me. But again, I do think it's a good movie, and I don't bash on anyone who do like it, because again, I do enjoy it, and I think it's cute, and I might even own it just so I could see the Pokemon I miss.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my thoughts on Durarara. It's a great little middle piece that doesn't feel like a middle piece when you really think about it. So yeah, anyway, tune in next week as we do Durarara Season 2, Part 3, which will just bring everything to an end.
Yep. And oh my god, I have such high hopes for this ending.
Hopefully.
I feel like I'm watching Avengers. Like I'm watching anime Avengers. Like you literally have Shizuo as the Hulk.
It's funny. Like the weekend of Avengers, we had TV Avengers with Game of Thrones episode where they fought the zombies.
Oh.
But we need anime Avengers.
We do have anime Avengers.
What, the Isekai series?
Like the one where Deadpool stars in it and everything.
Oh, you're talking about the anime Marvel shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean we need an anime. Like an anime to have its Avengers crazy moment.
Oh, I have a show exactly for that.
What?
It's a surprise.
Oh no! Okay.
I'm gonna drag you into more craziness. And like the funny thing is, it was also advertised in Durarara as well. A lot of my next picks are like we're just being advertised left and right in the show.
That's because Durarara is reminding you that you love these shows.
Yep.
So after this, it is going to be the other series by this writer, right?
Bakano.
Okay, good. No, I was trying to keep it a secret, but I'm like, wait, we said in the last episode, you're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be doing Bakano after this month is over. Anyway, wait, I realized we technically had like 5 weeks in this month.
It would fit nicely still.
Yeah.
Because it's still by the same creator. Like you pretty much like if you want to understand like what Durarara is trying to do, you watch Bakano.
Yeah, which I was really surprised they weren't in here.